If there's one secret that has completely transformed my garden, it's learning how to invite earthworms, and lots of them, into my soil. These little underground workers might not get much attention, but trust me, they're doing some of the most important work for your plants. Aerating the soil, breaking down organic matter, and leaving behind nutrient-rich castings that act as a slow-release fertilizer. And believe it or not, there's one easy trick I use to bring thousands of them into my garden beds, especially raised beds, within just a few days. All I do is bury a specific type of organic material right where they're needed most. The best part? You probably already have it at home. So, what's the secret? The answer is kitchen scraps and shredded paper, but done the right way. Now, before you go dumping all your food waste into your garden, let me explain how to do it properly so you attract worms and not pests. Earthworms are drawn to moist, carbon-rich environments that are breaking down slowly. When you bury a mix of soft vegetable peels, old lettuce, banana peels, and a handful of shredded brown paper or cardboard into your raised bed, it acts like a dinner bell for worms. The paper provides carbon and structure, while the veggie scraps offer nitrogen and moisture. Together, this creates the perfect worm buffet. I've been doing this for over a year now, and the results speak for themselves. I used to struggle with compacted soil and weak plants, but ever since I started burying these compost worm pods directly into the garden, everything changed. Not only did the worm population explode, but my soil became fluffier, more aerated, and easier to work with. My plants, taller, greener, more productive. It's like the whole ecosystem shifted into balance. Here's how I do it. First, dig a small hole about 8 to 10 inches deep. It doesn't need to be huge, just big enough to bury about 2 to 3 cups of material. Line the bottom with shredded cardboard or uncoated paper. Then add your veggie scraps, things like carrot tops, cucumber peels, wilted greens, or even coffee grounds. Avoid meat, dairy, or anything greasy. Sprinkle a bit of garden soil or finished compost on top to help introduce beneficial microbes that will break the food down even faster. Finally, cover it all up with the soil you dug out. You don't want animals or flies getting into it, so be sure it's well buried. Within just a few days, you'll notice a change. Your soil will feel looser, and when you dig near the area again in a week or two, you'll find dozens, if not hundreds, of worms feeding and moving through the soil. This process also activates microbial life, which works hand in hand with worms to create that soft, spongy, nutrient-dense soil we all want. It's natural composting, right in the garden, with no bin needed. Now, I want to address a common question I get. Won't this attract pests? And the answer is, it won't, as long as you bury it deep enough and avoid things like meat or oily foods. I've done this in multiple beds and never had an issue. In fact, the presence of worms often helps deter other unwanted bugs because healthy soil leads to healthy plants, which are more resilient to pests. One of the coolest things about this trick is that you can do it repeatedly throughout the season. Every couple of weeks, I rotate where I bury new compost pods. Over time, it builds a whole underground network of nutrient-rich zones and keeps worms happy and well-fed year-round. It's like giving your soil a slow, steady drip of compost exactly where it's needed. No turning, no stinky pile in the corner of the yard. I've also experimented with adding crushed eggshells to the mix, which seem to help even more. The calcium in the eggshells balances the pH of the soil and is especially helpful for tomatoes, peppers, and other fruiting plants. The worms don't eat the shells, but they help break them down as they move through the soil. In summary, this method is simple, effective, and completely free. You're using waste you already produce and turning it into worm food that builds healthy soil naturally. No chemical fertilizers, no complicated equipment, just a shovel, your kitchen scraps, and a little patience. Whether you're gardening in a small raised bed or a large plot, this trick will absolutely change the way your soil behaves. So give it a try this week. Find a spot in your garden, bury that nutrient-rich mix, and wait. The worms will come, and when they do, your garden will never be the same.